Hey YouTube people, this is the YouTube Pagan Challenge Week 3. Do you have a shrine, altar, or sacred space? The answer is yes, I do. That's one thing I've always had in some capacity or another. Now, have they always been, wonderful and elaborate and all that? No. I have literally had an altar that was just a very, very, very small little table with I don't even remember what I used to represent the elements, but it was small enough to fit in my closet at my grandmother's house so I could hide it with the clothes so that she didn't know it was in there. Because when I lived with her as a young teenager, she knew at that point that I was a witch, but she told me I was not allowed to practice in her house. Well, of course I was not going to not practice. So I hid it from her, and that was my solution to that. I have had altars that were just a couple of candles. I've used so many different little things as altars and representations of the elements and the gods. And at one point, I had a boy and girl clown doll as my representations of the gods. Like, I've used some shit. Until last year, well, past year and a half, I've only ever had one altar at a time. I don't know why, it's how I always did things. But when I moved in here, I set up the mantle as my kind of family altar, and I decorate it for the seasons, and I do my Sabbath rituals there, instead of doing them at my main altar, which is in my bedroom. That was really, really fucking weird for me to do, because I've never done rituals anywhere but like at my spot, and that was not my spot. But, once I got used to it, it was kind of nice, I guess. But yeah, I do have my main altar and my family altar, and yeah, like I said, I've always had an altar of some sort. Whether it be, a little table with a rock and a feather and a piece of rock that reminded me of something I could use for fire because it looked like lava even though it was not at all related to lava, and a seashell. I've always had that. I think that I don't think that I am, how do I put this? I'm not as, I'm going to say, not dependent, that's not the right word. I don't spend as much time with my altar as I used to. I used to meditate at my altar and everything. And then when I started using the dresser that I use now, it's up too high for me to meditate at it because, I can't stand up and meditate. I mean, I suppose I could, but never tried it. And, yeah, so that was kind of taken away, and, yeah, I don't do as much with it as I used to in the past, but I still love it dearly, and I still very much need it, and, yeah. So yes, I do have an altar, and my altar is my sacred space, and technically now I have two of them, although I don't really see this one as being as sacred as my main altar. I don't know why, I just don't. But they're both really important to me, and yeah, blessed be.